First Samuel 5. God causes trouble for the Palestinians. The Palestinians took the sacred chest from the near Ebenezer to the town of Ashdod. They brought it into the temple of their god Dagon and put it next to the statue of Dagon, which they worshipped. When the people of Ashdod got up early the next morning, they found the statue lying face down on the floor in front of the sacred chest. They put the statue back where it belonged. But early the next morning, it had fallen over again and was lying face down on the floor in front of the chest. The body of the statue was still in one piece, but its head and both hands had broken off and were lying on the stone floor in the doorway. This is why the priest and everyone else stepped over the part of the doorway when they entered the temple of Dagon in Ashdod. The Lord caused a lot of trouble for the people of Ashdod and their neighbors. He made the swords break out all over their bodies, and everyone was in a panic. Finally, they said, "The God of Israel did this. He is the one who caused all this trouble for us and our God Dagon. We've got to get rid of this chest." The people of Ashdod invited all the Palestine rulers to come to Ashdod, and they asked them, "What can we do with the sacred chest that belongs to the God of Israel? Send it to Gath." The rulers answered, but after they took it there, the Lord made the swords break out on everyone in town. The people of Gath were frightened, so they sent the sacred chest to Ekron. But before they could take it through the town gate, the people of Ekron started screaming, "They've brought the sacred chest that belonged to the God of Israel. It'll kill us and our families too." The Palestinians sent back the sacred chest. The people of Ekron called for another meeting of the Palestine rulers and told them, "Send the chest back where it belongs. Then it won't kill us." Everyone was in a panic because God was causing a lot of people to die, and those who had survived were suffering from the sores. They all cried to their gods for help. 1 Samuel 6. After the sacred chest had been in Palestina for 7 months, the Palestinians called in their priests and fortune tellers and asked, "What should we do with this sacred chest? Tell us how to send it back where it belongs." "Don't send it back without a gift," the priests and fortune tellers answered. "Send along something to Israel's God to make up for taking the chest in the first place. Then you'll be healed, and you'll find out why the Lord was causing you so much trouble." "What should we send?" the Palestinians asked. The priests, the fortune tellers answered, "There are 5 Palestine rulers, and they all have the same disease that you have. So make 5 gold models of the sores and 5 gold models of the wretch that were whipping out your crops. If you honor the God of Israel with this gift, maybe He will stop causing trouble for you and your gods and your crops. Don't be like the Egyptians and their king. They were stubborn, but when Israel's God was finished with them, they had to let Israel go. Get a new cart and 2 cows that have young calves and that they have never pulled the cart. Hitch the cows to the cart, but take the calves back to their barn. Then put the chest on the cart. Put the gold watch and swords into a bag and put it on the cart next to the chest. Then send it on its way. Watch to see if the chest goes on up the road to the Israelite town of Beth Shemesh. If it goes back to its own country, you will know that it was the Lord had made us suffer so badly. But if the chest doesn't go back to its own country, then the Lord had nothing to do with the disease that hit us. It was simply bad luck. The Palestinians followed their advice. They hitched up the 2 cows to the cart, but they kept their calves in a barn. Then they put the chest on the cart along with the bag that had the gold watch and souls in it. The cows went straight up the road toward Beth Shemesh, mooing as they went. The Palestine rulers followed them until they got close to Beth Shemesh. The people of Beth Shemesh were harvesting their wheat in the valley. When they looked up and saw the chest, they were so happy that they stopped working and started celebrating. The cows left the road and pulled the cart into the field that belonged to Joshua from Beth Shemesh, and they stopped beside a huge rock. Some men from the tribe of Levi were there, so they took the chest off the cart and placed it on the rock. And then they did the same thing with the bag of gold watch and souls. A few other people chopped up the cart and made a fire. They killed the cows and burned them as sacrifice to the Lord. After that they offered more sacrifices. When the 5 rulers of the Palestine saw what had happened, they went back to Ekron that same day. That is how the Palestinians sent gifts to the Lord to make up for taking the sacred chest. They sent 5 gold swords, 1 each for the towns of Ashdod, Gaza, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. They also sent 1 gold watch for each walled town and for every village that the 5 Palestine rulers controlled. The huge stone where the Levites set the chest is still there in Joshua's field, As a reminder of what happened, the sacred chest is sent to Kiriath Jearim. Some of the men of Beth Shemesh looked inside the sacred chest, and the Lord God killed 70 of them. This made the people of Beth Shemesh very sad, and they started saying, "No other God is like the Lord, who can go near him and stay alive. We'll have to send the chest away from here. But where can we send it?" They sent messengers to tell the people of Kiriath Jearim, "The Palestinians have sent back the sacred chest. Why don't you take it and keep it there everywhere?" Verse number 7. The people of Kiriath Jearim got the chest and took it to Abinadab's house, which was on a hill in their town. They chose his son Eleazar to take care of it, and it stayed there for 20 years. During this time, everyone in Israel was very sad and begged the Lord for help. The people of Israel turned back to the Lord. One day, Samuel told all the people of Israel, "If you really want to turn back to the Lord, then prove it. Get rid of your foreign idols, including the one of the goddess Ashtaroth. Turn to the Lord with all your heart and worship only him. Then he will rescue you from the Palestinians." The people got rid of their idols of Baal and Ashtaroth and began worshipping only the Lord. Then Samuel said, "Tell everyone in Israel to meet together at Mizpah, and I will pray to the Lord for you." The Israelites met together at Mizpah with Samuel as their leader. They drew water from the well and poured it out as an offering to the Lord. On that same day, they went without eating to show their sorrow, and they confessed they had been unfaithful to the Lord. The Palestinians attacked Israel. When the Palestine rulers found out the meeting at Mizpah, they sent an army there to attack the people of Israel. The Israelites were afraid when they heard that the Palestinians were coming. "Don't stop praying," they told Samuel. "Ask the Lord our God to rescue us." Samuel begged the Lord to rescue Israel. Then he sacrificed the young lamb to the Lord. Samuel had not even finished offering the sacrifices when the Palestinians started to attack. But the Lord answered his prayer and made the thunder crash all around them. The Palestinians panicked and ran away. The men of Israel left Mizpah and went after them as far as the hillside below Beth-kar, killing every enemy soldier they caught. The Palestinians were so badly beaten that it was quite a while before they attacked Israel again. After the battle, Samuel set up a monument between Mizpah and the rocky cliffs. He named it Help Moment to remind Israel how much the Lord had helped them. For as long as Samuel lived, the Lord helped Israel fight the Palestinians. The Israelites were even able to recapture their towns and territory between Ekron and Gath. Israel was also at peace with the Amorites. Samuel is a leader in Israel. Samuel was a leader in Israel all his life. Every year he would go around to the towns of Bethel, Gilgal, and Mizpah, where he served as judge for the people. Then he would go back to his home in Ramah and do the same thing there. He also had an altar built for the Lord at Ramah.